Hello, and welcome to PDX Garden Home. It's the beginning of June, and right on time, the peas are ready. So I'm getting my first harvest of peas back here. I have kind of this area, kind of a cage area that I am trellising the peas up. I chose this area of the yard because it gets more sun later in the summer. During the springtime, it gets some sun, but it also is a little more shaded than out there a little bit more. And I've always thought, well, that might be better for the peas to maybe hold off them dying from the heat of the summer as quickly. But I'm not sure that's true, having done it last year, but it did turn out to be a good place to grow the peas anyway. So that's why I keep doing it. On one side here, I've got some shelling peas. Those aren't ready yet. There's a bunch of peas on the vine, but they're just not, they're not ready to pick. They don't have enough, the peas haven't swollen enough in there that I'm ready to pick those. Maybe next week, by next week, that'll be true. And then behind me, the largest section is the sugar snap peas. I grow the variety Super Sugar Snap Peas, and I really like those. It produces well for me, and I love the flavor of them. It's great. And then I have some snow peas over there. I grow those somewhat for the novelty and the diversity, the variation of it. But I do like the Super Sugar Snap Peas better than the snow peas. Here in Oregon, of course, we've got the Oregon, I think it's called the Oregon Sugar Pea or the Oregon Snow Pea. I think it's an Oregon Snow Pea #2 or something like that, but it's a snow pea, and it's a little flatter than the plumper sugar snap peas. So I'm growing some of those over there, and that's actually where most of the harvest came from today. The sugar snap peas are starting to come on, but they're not quite as prolific yet. And then I have this new one that I grew, which is a purple sugar snap pea. Now this one, it's okay, but it tastes a little tougher. It tastes more like it should be kind of a pea pod. Like it should be the peas inside that I'm growing it for, as opposed to being a sugar snap pea. I swear it was a sugar snap pea when I bought it, though, when I bought the seeds. But it does not taste as tender as it's a neat novelty to have, but it doesn't taste as tender as the regular kind of sugar snap pea that I typically grow. So yeah, there's my harvest. My first harvest this week. I think that once this really starts going in the next 2 to 3 weeks here, probably over the next 2 to 3 weeks, I'll have kind of double or triple this amount of harvest on a weekly basis from it. But you know, this is more than enough for me, so there'll be some giving away, more than enough for me and my wife. There'll be some giving away of this going on for sure. Well, back to the garden. Hello. I'm working here on the mystery tomatoes. This always seems to happen to me, that I get a batch of the tomatoes that I lost the tags on. I think probably what happened here is I had one tomato, one with a tag on it, and then I intended that to inform me what was in the entire tray, and I must have picked up the one that had the tag on it and already planted it out and lost track of what was in here. But the stems, I've talked in a previous video about the fact that I've got some purple on the stems. You can see it's starting to clear up on the higher portion of the stem. And but other than the purple, the stems themselves are pretty thick relatively. Not as thick as you might see in other tomato plants, I grant you that. I'm not claiming to have the best, most awesome tomato here. But anyway, what I wanted to share with you here is that I'm prepping this for planting out. And what I'm doing is I'm getting rid of the lower branches, pinching out the lower branches that are on here, so that this can be buried quite a bit, and then that'll allow it to grow a root structure and do well. I put an organic fertilizer in the hole when I put this in the ground, and then I expect it will take off. So yeah, that's what I'm up to here, prepping the mystery tomatoes for planting out. Hey, I'm out here planting tomatoes today, and behind me here I am planting a San Marzano deep into a hole there. And I just thought I'd show you how deep I'm able to bury these in these beds here. These beds have been cultivated over years, even before I got here. They had some. The texture is nice in the sense that it's sandy loam, which is easy to dig in. Not super. There's not a lot of whole nutrition in it because it was mostly with a lot of sand. So I've been amending with compost for several years since I've gotten here. So anyway, yeah, check it out.